Which begs the question, is iDrive actually improving Orlando for the better? We'll answer that and more on this episode of Coming Soon to Orlando. I noticed you haven't subscribed to our channel yet. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on everything going on here in Orlando. So first off, let's quantify what is the iDrive area. So yeah, obviously International Drive, that's what everybody knows, but there's also Universal Boulevard all the way down to Destination Drive and probably all the way up to the Sand Lake area. And then really iDrive continues all the way up through over to the old Universal area with all Endless Summer and all the new hotels that they've put over there recently. So for this video, that's kind of our area for iDrive. As of late, Orlando's iDrive has really gotten some bad rap. You've got a lot of kind of the old vestige of iDrive with Senior Frogs and Hooters and all the other kind of stuff. You also had a death over at Icon Park, and you can see here they actually tore down the place where the kid fell and replaced it with something completely new. But I think that as we get through some of the lull that COVID really brought on with the slowdown in development, I think the more and more we're going to see these big projects come online and start changing people's perceptions of what iDrive actually is. One of my earliest memories of Orlando wasn't actually Disney, but it was Orange County Convention Center. And they're getting ready now to expand it another 200,000 square feet, bringing the total square feet of convention space to 2.3 million square feet, rivaling Chicago and Vegas. If you've ever visited Orlando for work, this is probably where you went, and you spilled out over onto iDrive. And for years, iDrive was really that seedy kind of old Florida vibe, but with all of these changes, I think with the upgrades to the convention center and iDrive, it'll be a great place for people locally or just traveling for business. I love seeing all of the development going on up and down Universal Boulevard, and behind me is Epic Universe. And if you don't know much about it, we've got some cool visuals to share. Epic Universe is gonna have Nintendo World, they're gonna have How to Train Your Dragon, they're gonna have Fantastic Beasts, 2 new hotels, and so much more. It's pretty interesting because we're pretty far away from the original 2 parks and water park, and so how they're gonna do buses back and forth and really tie these 2 together is yet to be seen. One major thing in this new area is going to be the Bright Line that's gonna come all the way back down to Orange County Convention Center. So people are gonna be able to get off on MCO, jump on the Bright Line, and be dropped off right in between all of the Universal parks. I think this is a massive win for Universal and our area. When I think about Orlando becoming a little bit more sophisticated, one of the brands that sticks out to me is the W Hotel. And if you see how far away we are from a lot of the other things from the convention center and that sort of thing, it's shocking to me that we're gonna have an iconic brand right on the corner here, right outside of Epic Universe, but it makes a lot of sense. Then if you keep going down Destination Parkway, you've got a 36-story hotel and convention center that's gonna be put in. It's the tallest building in all of Orlando. And one of the things that I love about it is there's gonna be a 360 view on the top of really all of this area of Orlando. So you'll be able to see Disney fireworks, Universal fireworks, SeaWorld, and just really cool spots. So if you live in this area or you're just visiting, you're gonna have new restaurants to visit. You're gonna have so many other amenities that we don't just have, that's just not the same chain over and over again. To me, that's exciting. When you hear a 36-story building and that's the tallest in Orlando, you might think that that would be more like downtown or over in Lake Nona, but because you've got the executive airport downtown, you really can't go over 445 feet. So it's gonna be an iconic piece right here in the iDrive area. I think that's pretty cool.
Batter's up. Let me get your baseball swing. Did you play any baseball?
Yeah.
T-ball?
T-ball.
You're a T-ball king?
Yeah. Orlando City Soccer, Orlando Magic, and now potentially the Orlando Dreamers. Well, at least that's the placeholder name for the MLB team that will be coming to the Orlando area. We're right here on I-4, and right behind me is like the 528 area, and they're gonna try to sneak in a $1.7 billion baseball stadium. Now at first I was like, what about parking? What about traffic? It's gonna be crazy, but really coming back this way, it makes a lot of sense. There's a $300 million new expansion to Kirkman and the whole road network in this area. And so expanding the offerings up and down the iDrive area from theme parks to sports. What my hope is that they get the Tampa Bay Rays to move up, because if you go to that stadium, for one, the owners are not investing into the new stadium. It looks terrible. And there's really not a lot of people that go to the games. So if they're able to get it to go to Orlando, I think much like Vegas, we'll have a ton of people that when they're visiting, they'll want to see their team. So if they're from Atlanta visiting Orlando, they want to come see the Braves play. I think that this would be a complete home run, if you will. Oh. The next thing that they have to get through, though, to make sure that they actually get this approved, is they need $1.7 billion for the stadium. They've got $700 million that is now going to be private investment, and they're looking for $900 million or $950 from the county, and it looks like it's actually going to go through from basically all the tourist tax that we get. We've had such a boom in tourism and so much tax going into the coffers that it's just sitting there waiting. So I think it's a really big opportunity, and to me, I think it'll go through. So what does all this construction around iDrive actually mean for residents and locals in the area? And what is this actually going to do for our real estate? Well, welcome to Paradiso by Park Square Homes. It's the first short-term rental community in the Parks area, really, that I can even think of in the past 10 years or so. We're just a stone's throw from SeaWorld and equidistant between Disney and SeaWorld and Universal at this point. There's 109 single-family residences and 385 townhomes. They've actually stopped sales right now because there was so much interest that they needed to catch up. Now, what does that mean for this area? Well, if you know where the Williamsburg area is in Orlando, if you look on the map, I think there's going to be a lot more new development just like this, an investment area for people that are looking to do short-term rentals. I think that if the city was smart, they would help rezone a lot of these and help the property values continue to rise up. But beyond that, the iDrive strip really touches that Sand Lake area, which leads into the Dr. Phillips area. And you see a lot of these new areas over by O-Town West and the Bay Hill neighborhood and all that stuff in Dr. Phillips. The values there continue to rise. So I think a lot of the older neighborhoods that really need a lot of updating, that were built in the 80s and 90s, those are the neighborhoods that also have massive opportunity that's going to take advantage of people working here, visiting here, and wanting to be a part of everything that's going on in this iDrive area. So we are at Ripley's Mirror Maze over on iDrive, and so much of what's going on here is a lot of this stuff, but there's a lot of other cool things that are coming as well. This is where we came from. I see it. Oh, the place is trippy, to say the least. When I think about the corridor here, the iDrive tourism corridor, and I start comparing to maybe like Vegas, that's probably the easiest comparison. It's more like a family-friendly Vegas of what's coming to the area. Before, it was just sort of a toss-away area with a lot of kitschy restaurants and different shops. You can buy t-shirts for $2, but now that it's becoming a little bit more of an elevated experience with Hampton Social and a lot more great places to eat and to hang out and play. You got Area 15 that's coming to the area, and if you haven't seen that in Vegas, it's like an indoor 300,000 square foot adult playground. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You've got Story Lake, which is a Lennar neighborhood. It's gonna be another 500 houses. You've got apartments and jobs and entertainment and a lot of really cool things coming to the iDrive area. That's going to make this elevated experience way different than what it's been in the past. Is iDrive going to be the next winter park? Probably not. But is it going to give an elevated experience if you're living here or just visiting here? Absolutely, and I'm really excited about it. And if you're looking to buy one of these short-term Airbnbs around here, or you're looking to just move to Central Florida, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. So email me, info@pozekgroup.com, and we'll see you guys on the next video.